So I wanted to remind everyone that Feature Freeze is tomorrow. There is a spreadsheet where we are tracking everything that all of the work groups have done. The very little of what we sort of promised to do is completely done, and I was going to ask if anyone on this call knows about the things that are not me, but I don't think I see Mitch or Carolyn. So there's little point in updating that. There is a tracking issue in GitHub that I'm going to make match those things. It is likely that many of those items are not going to be 100%. So we're expecting to see a lot of yellow and not a lot of green on this release, I think. I have been looking also at the things related to external control planes, which is important to me. The one that affects this group, I just wanted to mention, was the verify install. It was originally sort of like Linkerd check to see if your cluster was up. The documentation sometimes refers to it like that. But because it was implemented to inventory CRs and pods in the control plane, it sort of requires cloud admin permissions rather than data plane ones. And I would like to have fixed this for 1.8 to sort of, if you didn't have those permissions, at least see if your injector, webhook, and stuff is working. Although I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to that. The one item that I have a PR, which is still outstanding, is the Deprecation Analyzer. So one of the things that we wanted to do for this release is let people know if they were using deprecated or alpha level things. I wrote one, I extended the existing analyzer for annotations to check those things. So I'm going to need a review. I got little help from Howard and Shamsur, but need to see if this is going to go forward, because I didn't want to start the analyzer for beta level CRs until this one was done. I thought they might get in the way of each other. So if you are capable of reviewing this item or helping me move it forward, please do so, because again, Feature Freeze is tomorrow. I don't want to lose this function. I also want to point out for this group that this thing is a huge pain because so many of our annotations are marked as being alpha or deprecated. I think people are going to complain about it in testing, producing too much stuff. And there's no real solution for that. I should mention the Istio analyze. It doesn't take any parameters, so you can't say, well, analyze, but you can ask for particular messages, I believe. So you might be able to enable or disable that, which is why I made like checking for alpha a different message than checking for deprecated. But I think it's not a flexible tool with parameters. It's a one-shot thing. So we've got to be sure if we want to release this or not. It may be good just to do it for deprecated and not for alpha level annotations, since there are so many. But maybe the best thing for the first build, the first alpha, is to have it output like this so people can try it out and get some experience on it. So that's pretty much all I have. Does anyone else have anything for UX? Is anyone else working on UX items for this release? I know that I've been working with Suchith, who's doing the control plane list command, but that's not going to be ready for Feature Freeze. And I've also been looking at the revision tag thing for the new indirect tag pointers. I'm not sure if that's going to merge or not before the Feature Freeze. Is there any other items that were, any PRs that need reviewing and getting merged?
Jason, talking to you yesterday, I thought you had some thoughts on how we might enable or disable that alpha analyzer.
Um, yeah, I think right now we're just continuing like going after Ed's kind of solution right now. We're going just kind of using the default kind of the disablement of analyzers currently implemented for that. I don't know if we have like we talk about like a few thoughts on how we can um, allow users like disable like whether it's a um, alpha kind of uh, alpha feature analyzer or this is a beta feature analyzer or something like that. But I think right now the best we can do is just using the kind of default disablement of the analyzers.
The messages I'm outputting are at info level. Is there anything lower than that, like debug level, that maybe we could use for the alpha analyzer? So it seemed like a lot, but um, Jason, I would encourage you to try my PR and give me some feedback and approve it if it's at all good enough, so
Yeah,
that we
and
can
also
take it
yeah,
forward.
I think yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I think user can also skip this analyzer, right? Like using the default kind of the skip
Yeah,
parameter.
they can skip it. The question is, can we maybe we should make if it does turn out to be too much, we maybe make the default be to skip it. Also, it may be that other work that I'm unaware of is changing many of the annotations from alpha to beta, which would also fix this. If in the annotation table they got marked as beta, then they wouldn't be here. But I was using it for things like the volume mounts and stuff, which was interesting. I also came up with an issue. I think I filed a new issue for it where I had expected it was going to flag some annotations that were in a deployment, but I noticed that our annotation analyzer does not look inside of deployments. It waits until the pod is created by Kubernetes, so it missed them. So there's a new issue for that. If anyone thinks that we should be looking inside deployment templates as well, we want to give that one some attention. So I think most users or many users are going to want to run the deprecation and alpha level analyzer, not against a running cluster, but against their pipeline. And in the pipeline, any annotations or fields used by templates aren't going to be detected by the existing code.
Regarding whether we should disable it by default, I strongly encourage that. I think there's going to be a lot of noise that people aren't going to be expecting. So let's make it opt for now until we actually feel better about the alpha beta stable situation.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I would second that, particularly in light of the fact that annotations are being written to the status field by default in 1.9. I would hate to dump a lot of unexpected and kind of troubling information into that field right on the first swing after enabling it.
Yeah, and it may be that in fact we just change the PR not to report alpha statuses on annotations and only do deprecated stuff.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
But so please leave comments on the PR so that I can get it merged, hopefully today or tomorrow morning before the build is cut. Is there anything else that needs our attention? I would love to help anybody who's got something that's almost ready to go in. Otherwise, I have no more plans and we can end the meeting early. Okay, thank you, everyone. Please, if you have anything good for next week, add it under future or make an entry for next week so that we can accomplish more next time. Have a good rest of the afternoon.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, thank you.